yourself comfortable. If you want to lie down, sit up, however you want to do that. Notice what you're feeling right now. No matter what's going on in the world, we have this opportunity that we're giving ourselves to come and do a practice to let our nervous system settle. And at least for some of the time, to allow ourselves to settle back and have a rest from thoughts in the mind. We know that these kinds of practices really help calm our nervous system. So we have that as well, the settling of the nervous system. And we're going to work with some breathing practices, the extended exhale in particular, which helps us to come to a more relaxed, resting state. So, as always, we start with noticing what's happening. What's your direct experience right now in your body? Where in your body is there tension or contraction, tightness? And can we just pay attention to that and let it soften? And notice the qualities of your breath. Diaphragmatic breath is smooth, continuous. There's no pauses or breaks in the breath, is ideal. It's about the same length on the inhale as the exhale through the nose. And what it feels like in the belly as you breathe in, the stomach expands or rises, and as you breathe out, it settles back to the spine. And we work with the breath through softening the stomach area, the navel center, the lower belly in particular. Let's pause there for a moment, softening through the belly. And as you're doing that, notice the rhythm, the pace of your breath. Notice if your body is comfortable. If you could be a little more comfortable, then change your position so that you could do that. You might already be perfectly set up and you're just noticing your shoulders and your back could settle, could relax and soften into the support behind you. Your ears and your shoulders could have a bit more distance between them. You could be moving your body around a little bit still, noticing what it feels like, finding that most comfortable position. And then let's bring our attention to the thoughts in the mind and the emotion that might be here. Emotions are interesting because they're thoughts about emotion that we have words that express our emotion and that come into our mind. If you bring to mind an image of something that makes you angry, you might start to feel angry. Anger is a feeling or sensation in our body as well as thoughts in the mind. And many times we're quite scared of anger, other people's anger, our own, the expressions of anger. One of the things that we can do in a practice is to notice what's here. It might be anger, it might be something completely different. You might be feeling kind of neutral. You might be sad or grieving or scared. There's some big categories that emotion comes in. You might be feeling joy or love. And to notice how, when we bring something to mind as an image or a memory, it often evokes an emotion. And if you were to take a couple of minutes just to remember the emotions that you've experienced over the last 24 hours, notice that they come in with memories, images. Might be images we've seen on a screen, might be discussions we've had with people. If you were to think of from yesterday morning at this time, kind of scan back through your day, what was going on with you yesterday, and what kind of emotions were you feeling at different times during the day? And as you move through the morning and the afternoon into the evening, what were you feeling and what was triggering or generating those feelings? A lot of people have been watching what's been going on with Black Lives Matter and the demonstrations that are happening around the world and the violence that's happening in the United States in particular. And we have all kinds of emotion about that and thoughts and ideas and opinions, and we're triggered by different things. So, if what you're noticing during your scan of yesterday to today and this morning as well is a lot of intensity or certainly a lot of variety, you can notice that. And we keep coming back to kindness and acceptance and patience. And just even as we're starting into the relaxation practice, what would your response be if you were to say something like, I can welcome all of my emotions? That doesn't mean that we like them necessarily, but just to see if it's allowed. I don't have to avoid anything that's coming up. And if things come through while I'm doing this practice, I can work with them. I might stop for a moment and do some tapping or take a few deep breaths or work with it in a deliberate way. Or maybe I'll just be able to see it as it comes through and then stay grounded in my awareness in my body, noticing, observing. As human beings, we respond to the environment that we're in. And sometimes it helps to remind ourselves of that, to see if there's an openness to allowing experience to be as it is. And when that's the case, then we could let go of defending ourselves against what we don't want to feel. Notice what your experience is with that. It's okay for me to relax my guardedness. It's okay for things to come and go as I'm doing this practice or as I'm moving about through my life today. All of that can be here, even as I'm bringing my attention into my body from head to toes, even as I'm letting my breath be smooth, continuous, sufficient enough to get a good quality of new air, new oxygen. Now notice the whole of your body from head to toes. Notice the sensations, the energies, your sense perceptions, and notice how deeply you could relax, you could soften. And what would be the most helpful right now? Notice your forehead and eyebrows, your eyes. Let go of any worry or tightness through your forehead. Notice that flow of air as it comes in and out of your body through your nose, down into your mouth and throat, into your lungs. And the stale air can go out the same passage, only this time we're exhaling, we're letting go. And as we lengthen our exhale, there's more room for the inhale. Let's work with that for a bit. We're noticing the whole body and letting our whole body relax. We're noticing the qualities of the breath, the ease, possibly, as we're softening through the belly, through our chest, through the neck and shoulders, through our whole body. And if you were breathing in to a count of three, for instance, and started breathing out a little bit longer, notice what that feels like. Let's focus our attention there for a bit. A full inhalation on three, and then exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, and let this be at a rhythm and a length that's comfortable. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not gasping for air. It's just like, okay, now I can let that belly soften a little bit more, a little bit more. And then when it's time, I breathe in. And then really letting go. Let go of the old breath. Let go of the tightness and tension in your body. Let your belly soften. Let's focus all of our attention on that for a while. And our mind is capable of doing so many things at once. Part of your attention could be on softening your body head to toes. You might be noticing thoughts and emotions coming through. And thoughts have a great capacity to attract our attention and take us off track. So as soon as you notice if that's happened, then you could just bring yourself back. Inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2. Let yourself exhale until it becomes evident you need a new breath, and then let your breath come in. Take in enough breath, and then exhale and keep your attention on that turnover, that transition in the breath, exhaling and inhaling. And as you get to the end of the exhale, let your whole body soften. Again and again and again. We soften our whole belly, our whole body, our mind, our attachments. We let go on the out breath. So you could work metaphorically as well as physically as you're letting go of the breath. What do you need to let go of in your mind, in your resistance? Could you let that soften too? You could maybe work with I welcome everything. I can feel everything. I don't have to defend myself or put up walls, tighten up against anything. And we might get a no to that, might tighten up, or a thought will come in. Well, that's not true. And we don't even have to really work with it so much right now. Although you could, if you wanted, you could look into it. You could just continue to let go on the out breath and experience that softening. And maybe it's I'm willing to experience everything. Or I'm willing to open that door a little bit. And then we attune over and over to that lovely feeling of softening through our belly, softening through our whole body. Notice the smoothness of the breath, belly. Let your attention anchor to that. And every time we breathe out, we have that opportunity to align with our body's natural impulse on the exhale. That natural softening, release. And we breathe in and we breathe out. We empty the lungs and then we let them fill. And bring your attention to your heart center. And people may bring their hand to the heart center, bring a visualization of a warm golden glow of light at the heart center. Whatever is your inclination, follow that. What does your heart know right now? Is there kindness here for you? We can always cultivate kindness for ourselves. It's so helpful. And we're already showing ourselves that we're being kind by doing the practice, by coming in and relaxing our body and lengthening our breath and letting go of the tightness and tension. We're walking the talk right now as we're doing this practice. And we come back to it over and over during the day. We might notice, where am I defending myself? What does that look like? Am I blocking my feelings? And we can do that by zoning out with a screen. We could do that by getting angry and not feeling. We could do it by going numb. We could get drunk. There's all kinds of ways that we block our feelings. And we can just keep coming back. What's here? And am I willing to feel in this atmosphere of kindness and compassion? Is that okay? And is it okay for me to block out feelings sometimes too? Because it is for all of us. No one has, well, I won't say no one, but I don't have the capacity to stay present every single second. So it's really natural to move through these things. We move towards, we take a break, we do a practice where we really let our bodies settle and soften. We notice if we're shaming ourselves, and we might bring some more kindness to that. And let all of that go just for another minute or so. Notice your own direct experience connecting with yourself right now. And when you're ready, open your eyes.